Hey everyone and welcome back to Craze. Julie and the Phantoms is a new Netflix series that follows Julie as she tries to get back into music after her mother's recent death. She meets three ghosts who were in a band together before their death, and the four begin a new band called Julie and the Phantoms. Today we're going to be talking about three strict rules the Julie and the Phantoms cast have to follow. Make sure you stay until number 1 as you don't want to miss what we're gonna say about which rules the actors have to follow in the Julie and the Phantoms cast. Incredibly, but sometimes it is difficult to follow some cast rules. The rules can be really strict and stupid sometimes, but actors have to follow them. Did you know that because of some of the rules, two cast members are avoiding an on-screen kiss? Or, for example, there was a certain High School Musical song which posed an inspiration for the Julie and the Phantoms original song? Moreover, did you know that the cast had to a certain city in order to film the show? Number 3. Another city. The first thing we are going to talk about is the fact that the cast and crew had to fly to another city. Although the show was set in Los Angeles, however, the cast and crew had to fly to Vancouver to film. Vancouver, Canada looks a lot like Los Angeles, California, so no one would ever notice it wasn't LA. The two cities must have a lot of similarities since Vancouver is often used as the backdrop for popular shows and movies. The cast and crew Julie and the Phantoms had to film the first season in a Vancouver in a location setting that was meant to make viewers think they were actually in LA, near Hollywood. Everyone was sad they had to agree to fly there for filming. Other shows that have successfully pulled this off were Riverdale, Lemony Snicket's, A Series of Unfortunate Events, and Supernatural. If any of the cast members had been hesitant to fly Canada for filming, they most likely would have got into the axe from the show. As we can see, this rule was really important to follow, so that is why it's a good thing everyone was on board when it came to bring the first season to life in the perfect filming location. Number 2. The High School Musical song. Kenny Ortega is a professional, and when he does something, he does that with passion. Moreover, he always has a professional approach to business, which makes his creations memorable for many years. Obviously, everyone remembers the High School Musical. It was very famous. The cast Julie and the Phantoms went throughout musical boot camp before filming began. When working with someone as brilliant as Kenny Ortega, the same man behind the High School Musical movie franchise, expectations were high, and there was no time for laziness or mistakes, so the crew was working so hard during all cast. Kenny Ortega whipped Zac Efron, Vanessa Hudgens, Ashley Tisdale, and Corbin Bleu into shape to perform some of the most memorable Disney Channel songs of the early 2000s. His vision for Julie and the Phantoms revolves around creating a brand new, amazingly entertaining musical TV show. Ortega's approach to music boot camp learning is striking in its professionalism, which helps actors and actresses to prepare them for filming. And if the show is part of the plan, fans are extremely grateful. Charlie Gillespie described the training he and his fellow castmates took part in. He was saying that they worked on their instruments every day, and Kenny pushed them outside of their comfort zones a little bit every day. He really made the actors sure they are really cool and could do everything was needed, while saying that it was clear he enjoyed the time spent in a boot camp. He continued describing how amazing it was, saying he had like 6 weeks together rehearsing and honing our skills before filming and just became best friends during that time, and I think that really comes across on screen. It sounds really great. The actors are training for a cast and moreover they are becoming more comfortable to each other, so it's easier to work together. You will be shocked, but all of the musical trainings inspired Madison Reyes and Charlie Gillespie to write together their own original song for the show. This is so romantic, isn't it? They wrote the lyrics for the song Perfect Harmony, and Kenny Ortega was so blown away by it. He actually used it in the first season of the show. Madison said, "The inspiration came from Gabriella, Vanessa Hudgens, and Troy's Zac Efron moment on the rooftop when it's raining in High School Musical. We worked on it all our free time." Who could forget the moment when Troy and Gabriella saying, "Can I have this dance?" to each other, surrounded by flowers on top of their high school rooftop. This is so amazing when talented people can create something together that the whole world will admire. Charlie Gillespie revealed how confidential his writing process with Madison really was. They just used some little time, and they were in a rush. It turned out that Charlie and Madison just saw the opportunity and started writing in secret. This is incredible, but they used every 10 minutes in between their dance rehearsals. We'd go and write any minute that we had. We pitched it to Kenny on this really cool night and he loved it. However, to be considered, the cast needed to pass an a cappella test, which is not simple at all, because singing a cappella isn't easy. The reason why singing an a cappella is so difficult: singers can't rely on background sounds from instruments or beats to accompany the sound of their voices. Successfully, a cappella singing requires raw and pure talent. Obviously, the cast of Julie and the Phantoms checked all the boxes when it came to be naturally talented without auto-tune or anything else, because otherwise they wouldn't have been chosen to be on the show at all. But as we can see, guys are really nice singers because the song was considered. Jeremy Shada played the role of Reggie and describes it to Entertainment Weekly that the audition process was pretty intense. They had to do an a cappella song in their first audition, as well as playing the instrument for their characters. He said that for him it was singing and playing bass, and then doing the acting scenes. Jeremy's vocals were clearly impressive enough to land him the role he was after. The cast had to learn the lyrics to every song before entering the studio to record. The team of young actors we seen on Julie and the Phantoms received demo versions of each song they were meant to perform before they headed into the studio. They were instructed to have the lyrics memorized before anything else. Charlie described that, saying, "Talk about binge listening. It was just an entire few days listening to all these demos. I was so into it I lost my voice. I had to be on voice rest for 2 weeks when we started rehearsing, and it was the scariest thing. When I finally got my voice back, I only had like a week and a half to prepare to record." Number 1. Age gap. And here comes the biggest strict rule ever the actors have to follow. Because of the age gap, the two main characters can't share a kiss. A lot of the fans have spoken up about the age difference between Madison Reyes as the starlet behind the leading role of July and Charlie Gillespie, the actor who plays Luke. On camera they have love interests, but in real life she's 16 and he's 21. Entertainment Tonight asks Madison if her character will be kissing the character of Luke in the next season of the show. But she's clever enough to shut that down really quickly, saying so mature for the young girl things. No, I don't really think so. I'm just excited to see the connection that they have with each other grow. You don't need to just fall for any guy that you like. You can take your time. We can only agree with Madison because when it comes to real-life relationships, taking your time is always the smartest thing to do. Madison's opinion on this is super mature. Because of the age gap, it doesn't look like a kissing scene will be happening anytime soon. But let's just hope that a bit later, when they will be a bit older, we will finally see that kiss. While you are here, go ahead and click on one of these 2 videos on your screen. See you there.